Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about the Washington Commanders scheduling a top 30 visit with Tennessee quarterback Hendon Hooker, and I'll talk about if I think there's a realistic possibility the Commanders sign him or draft him. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. Also hit that like button and the notification bell as well. Mic is still an issue. Hopefully will be fixed in the next couple of days. So I woke up to this news that the Washington Commanders are scheduling a top 30 visit with Tennessee quarterback Hendon Hooker. I believe it will be in the last week of visits. That's what Albert Breer reported. So very interesting. They also went to his pro day. That could be for a lot of different reasons. One, Hendon Hooker. Two, Darnell Wright. Three, Hyatt, the receiver. A lot of, all three of those guys are going to be early picks. Wright is probably going to be a first-round pick, and then Hyatt and Hooker will get drafted early, maybe in the first, maybe in the second-ish. But, they went to the pro day, and that wasn't really a surprise because, they need, offensive line help, and they, who knows, maybe a quarterback. But now they're doing a top 30 visit, and that is when it becomes a little bit interesting in terms of, okay, are they interested in Hendon Hooker? So let's also read the rest of what John Keim says. He says, they did meet with Anthony Richardson at the Combine. He's not scheduled for a visit, but these visits are for a variety of reasons. Can be to learn more medically, sometimes get a good feel on a guy, so no need to visit. Rivera said they haven't ruled out anything at 16. Hard to imagine taking a QB at 16, but due diligence. Hooker will be interesting coming off knee injury, but talented. Does he make it into late first? If not, have to be ready just in case. So collect all info. And what I do like is Nick Merriam, shout out Nick Merriam, says, worth noting Jahan was not brought in for a top 30 visit. So just something to keep in mind. It could be, they want to get another look at his medicals and see how he is, and, just in case for future reference. And, they know they're not going to be able to get Bryce Young. They know they're not going to be able to get Will Levis. Or they know that they're not going to get Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and very likely not going to be able to get Anthony Richardson, and maybe not even Will Levis. We could probably see four quarterbacks go in the top five. Okay, so that brings up the question. Maybe they think Hendon Hooker is the only possibility of guy they could draft in the first few rounds. And, they said they like Sam Howell, and they do, but Sam Howell doesn't make him set at the quarterback position. I want to see what, he can do this year, but just because they have Sam Howell and he's the expected starter doesn't mean they can't get a guy if they really, really like him. I am opposed to drafting a quarterback this year just because who knows, maybe Rivera will be here for the next few years, but if not, and we get a new GM, I want the next regime to pick the quarterback. And Hendon Hooker there might be some teams that have him off their draft board in terms of, not even draft board, but like first few rounds just because of the injuries and the age. I mean, I don't even know if it's injuries. I know he has a torn ACL right now and is recovering from that, but that is just something to keep in mind. Let's see, I think Albert Breer says, he'll come in during the last week. Visits are allowed, which will allow Washington to get an update on his knee and some time with the Bulls star. Interesting for sure. So, real quick, if you don't know who Hendon Hooker is, 6'4", 218 pounds, played for Virginia Tech, and didn't do much here, and then transferred to Tennessee and did an amazing job in 2021. Had a 68% completion percentage, almost 3,000 passing yards, 31 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. And this past year for Tennessee, had a basically 70% completion percentage, over 3,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and then tore his ACL. And somehow was not a finalist for the Heisman when he had better stats than at least a couple of the guys that were in that, final, whatever. I think it's 4. He also had, he's a solid rusher. Like, you see his last 4 years, so including at Virginia Tech, he's had 5 touchdowns every single season at least. And the last 3 years, his average about like 540 yards. So he's able to run the football. He's a very good passer. Only problem is I believe he's 25 years old right now and might not be able to play his first year because of the injury. So the first year you could see him play is 26 years old. And that just if you really like him and you think he can be a franchise quarterback, okay, that maybe you still take him, but 26 years old in his first year actually playing is a little bit concerning. Maybe he's able to play this year, but I don't know. Just because if you're a rookie, you want them to get as many reps as possible. If he's coming off the ACL injury, which happened, probably December, late November, December, then, he might not be ready for OTAs and, training camp and stuff like that. And if you have your rookie QB playing, you want them to be getting all those reps in training camp. So it'll probably be a redshirt year for him. And I really think this visit is more the Commanders getting all the information they need to doing their due diligence on the quarterback position, which is something they should do. They're not set at the quarterback position. Again, I like Sam Howell. I want to see what he can do this year, but they're not set at the quarterback position. So if they find someone they really love, go ahead and take him. I, again, don't really see someone in this class that I would personally take, and I think taking Hendon Hooker at 16 is way too early. And it looks like, there's some buzz about him going in the first round. If I'm taking Hendon Hooker, it's in the second round, but that's the earliest I'm taking him. Maybe you trade up into the second round and you take him. But again, for me personally, it seems like he's a great character and very, very good the last couple years, both passing and rushing. But the combination of the injury with the age concerns me. Just, again, he's going to be 26 years old making his first start. And to me, that is a little bit concerning. So I would probably pass on him unless it's later on. But again, you're going to have 3 quarterbacks in that room that could play. And I think a lot of people are going to be split on Hendon Hooker. And if your next regime doesn't like him, then it's just kind of a waste of a pick. No combine stats, of course, because he didn't participate because of the ACL. NFL comparisons, Desmond Ridder, some strengths, blends NFL pocket passer size with dual threat athleticism. We talked about that. Patient allowing route combinations to develop. TD to interception ratio of 58-5 in the last 2 seasons, which is amazing. Avoids high risk and low yield throws for the most part. Feels edgy, collapsing, climbs pocket to safety. Okay. Again, a lot of that stuff's advanced. You guys can see some of that. Weaknesses, the ACL coming off injury as a 25-year-old rookie. And that's kind of it. There's, takes on too much contact as a runner. That might be a little bit concerning in terms of his injuries in the future. And you guys can see the rest. I think he's going to be I don't think he's going to go past the second round. At the worst, the latest I could see him is probably third round, but he might go a little bit earlier. But this is a guy that really could be a sleeper of the class. Like, if a team really properly develops him, I think he could be a really good starter in this league. And that's the team I think a good fit would be, the Lions, the Seahawks. Maybe not the Lions, because Goff is still only 27 and he played really well, but Geno Smith is 32. That could work for the Seahawks. Have him sit for a year, probably 2 years. And that would work. Commanders, they already have someone like that in Sam Howell, and you already got Jacoby Brissett, so Hendon Hooker would be that third guy. It would be a redshirt year anyways, but I just don't know if it really makes that much sense. I want to hear what you guys have to say about it in the comment section below. Another, top 30 visit that was announced today from Ben Stanek. He says Commanders are scheduled to meet with Arkansas center Ricky Stromberg. So a theme of offensive linemen, and that's mostly what they're visiting with, and that can kind of be an indicator because they might want to compare the offensive linemen to each other, or maybe they feel really strongly about a guy and they want to compare. They already know what they need to know about that guy, but they want to compare these other guys and see how the guy they really like stacks up to this guy. I was listening to Daniel Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks' podcast. They talk about the top 30 visit guys or just how teams, use them. And I really like that conversation. They said some of them is used for medical, some is used for later round guys that they really haven't seen. Maybe a guy that hasn't been invited to the combine that they do have a draftable grade on. And then obviously some's just guys they like. So I think that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy, and let me know what you guys think about Hendon Hooker. What's the earliest you would take him, or would you even take him at all? Thanks for watching, and peace.